day. Good. Off and running. No barking. Okay. No barking. I will come. Okay. All right. Where's my swatter? Start. Just start. I think you need to come over here and sit down, Zachary. Well, that's better. We need to get a little bit of motion going on here. Welcome everybody. A little bit of warm up today. See if we can answer questions on any health concerns that you might have. Any personal training issues. You want to talk about some New Year's resolutions? Hit me up with any questions that you like, and I will see if I can answer them for you. I am an ACE certified health coach and an ACE certified personal trainer, and I used to be about 110 pounds heavier than I am now, and a 30-year cigarette smoker. Hang on, we have some folks that are joining us here down the little gang. Here, you guys want to come a little closer? Come here. Come here, Zeke. Come here, Zeke. Where's Zeke? Hey, Zeke, where's my puppy? Come on, puppy, come join us. He should come flying in. Here he comes. Here he comes. There's the big guy. This is my wrecking crew. My 3 Chihuahuas, Zoe, who's 12, Zachary, who's 13, and Zeke, who's about 3 or 4. I do small dog rescue, and all these guys are rescued animals. Anyhow, let me take a few minutes to sit down and talk to you guys about what you can do to make yourselves healthier. And it's pretty easy. We don't have to spend a whole lot of... Here, let's bring it up here. That way you guys can come up here and join us at the same time. Come on, Zachary. Come on, Zekies. You want up here? There you go, big guy. Come on, you too, Miss Zoe. Up here. Ooh, gotcha. One there, and we'll put one more up here. Oh, there we can see him. All right, you guys. Today's going to be the day I want you to hit me up with your New Year's resolutions and tell me what you're going to try and do this next year to be healthier. Me personally, I'm now at weight. At one time, I was 250 pounds plus a 31-year cigarette smoker, so I didn't do myself a whole lot of favors. So ask me any questions you've got with regards to your physical health, spiritual health, mental health. As a certified health coach, I tend to help everybody with just about everything. We can talk about diet, nutrition. We can talk about being in balance mentally, spiritually. Balance is something that's extremely important for everybody. And in 2018, living a balanced life in an extremely unbalanced world is going to be a presentation that I will be giving. PowerPoint presentation, about an hour, because the way things are right now, it's a little bit unusual, to say the least, in the United States. We're at a very unusual time as far as I see it. We've got a lot of issues to address, but foremost are the issues regarding taking care of one's health. Nothing else is going to matter if you don't have your health. I was watching a show the other night regarding, it's on TLC, I think, called My 600-Pound Life. And I can't fathom letting things get to that point. I was 252 pounds. I got really, really heavy. I'll show you the picture, just so I can scare you. I saved this driver's license on purpose. It's my old license, but this was me. 252 pounds. Did not do myself any favors, believe me. When they hit me with type 2 diabetes at age 45 in 2005, they hit me with type 2 diabetes. I didn't know what to do. I was 38. My BMI was 38. I was still smoking. I didn't have the faintest idea what to do. The doctor simply said to me, you've got type 2 diabetes. Your A1C is 8 something. Your blood sugars were 380. I'm insane, let's put it this way. Normal blood sugars are between 80 and 120. So I did not do myself any favors. I was in computers for 25 years, and I sat around every day working on computers. I was very sedentary. I didn't move a lot. So by the time I was 45 and they hit me with type 2 diabetes, I didn't know what the heck to do. You know, I was literally in a position where the doctor was telling me, you need to make some changes. You've got to lose weight. You got to quit smoking. You got to do something. Otherwise, you can start picking out fingers and toes that you don't like, because eventually they're gonna chop off. They're gonna cut them off. You'll lose your vision, and eventually, if you don't take care of your type 2 diabetes, you lose your life. So I decided that I liked all my fingers and I liked all my toes, and I went on a 13-year journey to where I'm at now. I got out of computers. My lower back will not allow me to do that any further. Believe me, sitting around a lot can also give you lordosis. That's curvature of the spine forwards, like sway back in a horse. So if you sit around an awful lot, and like me, you put on a lot of weight on top of that, you put a whole lot of pressure on your lower spine, your lumbar, and that can curve it forward, give you lordosis. Now, the three main things that spines deal with, and I've got two of the three: kyphosis, which is your hunchback; scoliosis, which is the curvature of the spine, either as an S or a C. I have a minor C curve myself. And then there's lordosis, or sway back. What you see in an old nag of a horse, like that, that's lordosis, that sway back. And that one can be caused just by too many hours sitting on the job, or sitting period, being sedentary, not moving. See if anybody has some questions I can answer, so I don't just sit here and talk at you all day. Well, thank you, Pelican. I appreciate it. Anybody have any questions regarding their health? Because for me, if I can help you guys get your health in order, or at least get you moving in the right direction. Hang on, I need my old man glasses here. Where'd I put them? All right, who's got the old man glasses? Zoe had the old man glasses. All right, you guys, so hit me. I want questions. Challenge me. How about New Year's? Secret Daddy Radio. How did you grow into a man mentally? And you know, that's a very good question. And I was very, very fortunate, because at age 17, I wanted the heck out of my house. So I had my dad sign me up in the Marines. And that is probably what developed my main, I guess you could say, core who I am now. Because my boot camp training really allowed me to go back later at age 45 and get my health in order. I had to figure out, one, what was I going to do to get, you know, all the poundage off, the weights off, you know, and believe me, it wasn't easy, and it took almost a decade, but it had to be done slowly. You don't put on weight fast, you're not going to lose weight fast. You don't get diabetes overnight, you're not going to get control of it overnight. So I found my particular way, to exercise. My favorite way to exercise has always been the same. I'm a power walker. That's been what I do. Every 6 days a week, 4 miles at about 4 miles an hour. So I'm putting in about 24 miles a week cardio. On top of that, I'm doing about 2,000 reps with light weights. Dumbbells, 20-pound dumbbells, 35-pound kettlebell, about 2,000 reps per week. That's simply so that I can maintain the physical abilities that I need to at my age. And I will let you know, I'm 58 years old. So I personally think I'm living proof that anybody can make positive changes in their health at any age. All you have to do is figure out what it is that's going to get you motivated. For me, it was the thought of losing fingers and losing toes and losing my eyesight and eventually losing my life to diabetes. That was the motivation that got me started, 2005. And that was when I decided, the cigarettes had to go. I was smoking a pack a day for almost 31 years, so the cigarettes had to go. So they went July 15th, 2005. I haven't had one since. Now I help other people quit smoking, and that's my give back. So if any of you, I don't care who you are, you want to get rid of the cigarettes and you're really ready to get rid of the cigarettes, I will help you for free. I'll Skype with you on it, we'll text on it, email, whatever it takes. We'll put together a 30, 60, 90-day plan so that at the end of 90 days, you're not going to have that monkey on your back anymore. Because there's absolutely no way, I guarantee, there's no way you're going to get your health in order if you're still smoking cigarettes. It's not going to happen. So all you have to do is email me, pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com, or hit me up on any of my social links. Just say, Brad, I'm ready to quit. And we'll go ahead and figure out what it will take to get that done. Now, if you're in a situation like I was, where you might have been hit with type 2 diabetes, your doctor says, I'm pre-diabetic, and let me hit you with these numbers because this will scare the crap out of you. 330 million Americans. Out of 330 million Americans, 30 million of us have already been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, me being one of them. Out of 330 million Americans and 30 million already being diagnosed, there are 70 million of us that are pre-diabetic. What does that mean? That means that you're right on the verge. You're right on, you can go either way at this point. You're at that tipping point. So, you can go one way and get in full-blown diabetes like me, kill off half your pancreas and live with diabetes meds the rest of your life. And I take 2 different kinds of diabetes medications, even though I'm, on top of my diet and everything else. My pancreas is only 50% active now, per my doctor. So, for me, I did not get the warning in time. I did not know I was pre-diabetic probably the whole time that I was. And until I was getting the extremely severe indications, the things that I was getting when I was getting hit with type 2 diabetes was extreme thirst. I couldn't drink enough. It didn't matter what it was, water, soda, juice. I couldn't drink enough. I was constantly thirsty. I couldn't get rid of the thirst. I would down a gallon of water and I would still be thirsty. And of course, all the drinking, you're constantly be going to the restroom. Then my vision improved. That was really weird. This was before I even had laser eye surgery. 2006, I did the radiokeratotomy. But my vision improved, so my contact lenses and my glasses, the prescription, everything was fuzzy. And I didn't find out till I went in and saw my optometrist that my vision had actually improved, and he said, I bet you have diabetes, or you're close. Because he thought that the pressure on the retina, the diabetic, the diabetes was causing, was giving me the improved vision because of the pressure going on in my eyeballs. Anyhow, hit me up. Questions, you guys. I can sit here and talk at you about health and getting healthy all day long. I can talk to you about the numbers going on in America right now. Right now we have 2/3 of this nation are either heavy or very heavy. They're either fat or very fat. They're either overweight or obese. Like me, I was obese. My BMI was 32. Every single day is a new challenge. And every single day is a day where there might be times you might get up in the morning and go, I do not feel like getting up and exercising. I do not feel like getting up and getting out the door. Especially for me on the cold mornings. Now in here in SoCal where I'm at, it's getting really cold at night, down in the upper 30s and lower 40s. And my old bones don't like the cold. So for me, I like to get out when it's warm. So I might be a little bit later in getting out to do my exercises. In fact, I was originally planning these broadcasts every day at 9 a.m. and I bumped them up to 11 because I want to have the time to get out and do my exercise and take care of me before I help take care of you. Obviously, nobody's going to hire me as a personal trainer if I'm not healthy enough and I don't look the part. But if I looked like I did way back when, let me show you one thing that I show people as I talk to them on the road, and I do presentations about health because that's who I am and what I do now. This was me here at 205 pounds, a little bit more than 205 pounds. Now, even here, I was already 50 pounds down just about from what I was at my heaviest at 252. Showed you that picture. But this was a rebound. This was actually a yo-yo. And that's the other thing I want to talk to you about. Anytime you're losing weight, you always have the ability to put that weight back on. For me, being able to get heavy again is always going to be something that I have to look out for. It's a simple matter of numbers, you guys. For every 3,500 calories that you put into your body that you don't burn off in some form of exercise or just general daily living, every 3,500 calories that you add on turns into a pound of fat. Conversely, for every 3,500 calories that you burn, that burns a pound of fat. As a health coach, personal trainer, one of my goals with my clients is to take them from what's known as a positive energy balance to a negative energy balance. A positive energy balance means at the end of the day, you have not burned more calories than you have consumed. In other words, you've eaten or ingested more calories than your body has burned. The average 200-pound person is going to need about 1,900 calories a day. It's a little less than 10%. The calculation just for the autonomic function. So if you're 200 pounds and you want to stay 200 pounds, you're going to ingest and burn off between both somewhere around 1,900 calories a day between what you eat and what you burn off, just your basic autonomic function. Anything beyond that, over that 1,900 calories, for every 3,500 calories total, whether that's 3,500 additional calories in a week or over 2 weeks, let's just say it's 3,500 calories per week, that's 52 pounds a year. I know, I did it. Between 2003 and 2005, I blew up from about 170, 175 to 252 pounds. I was being sedentary, I wasn't exercising, I wasn't watching my diet, I was working in computers at the time. That was my career, was information technology. So I would work all day on the computer, or I'd drive out to meetings to work on computers, or I'd drive out to meetings to talk about training on computers, whatever. Then I'd get home at night and I would do the same thing. I'd hi to the wife and kids, have dinner, and I'd be back on the computer again until bedtime. So I was spending most of my day sitting, being sedentary. And being sedentary and sitting and not watching your diet at all, eating whatever amounts you like, portions, obviously, it's very simple, very easy to put on weight over time. It's not even something that you think about. When I was 45, before I started having the weird diabetes symptoms, I was fat and happy. 250 pounds, eating whatever I wanted. I did not have any symptoms. I was not having any strange symptoms. I felt great. Yeah, I was overweight. My waist size was somewhere between 44 and 46. And for me, I was very, you could see I was rather rotund. And I was still smoking. Cigarettes, a pack a day, right? 15 to 46. Did not do myself any favors at all. So I had to get cigarettes, had to lose the weight, had to get the type 2 diabetes under control. And that was another interesting journey, figuring out how do I get off all this sugared stuff and switch over to something that tastes halfway decent. And 13 years ago, there was nowhere near all the good sugarless stuff and no sugar added stuff that's out there now. The stuff that's out there now, it's amazing, and I'm finding new good stuff all the time. And personally, I switched over to stevia and the yellow one, sucralose. Those are the two artificial sweeteners that I use. Use them together. I still eat sugar. I still eat sugared things. There's no way to avoid that. I still eat all of the foods that I like. I don't deny myself anything. Ribs, burgers. Yeah, I'll hit Mickey D's, every now and then too. The point is the portion size is what's changed for me, especially. One, as you lose weight and your stomach shrinks, you're not going to be able to put in as much anyway. But for me, the portion size became the key issue initially in losing weight. I understood that, and I sat down with a nutritionist, obviously, at my doctor's urging, and anybody to get with type 2 diabetes or even pre-diabetes, please take the time to sit down with a nutritionist and understand what it is that's going to work for you. Because you can put together individual programs with your nutritionist, and so you're not feel like you're eating cardboard. And like I say, I don't deny myself anything. The point is, these days, it's more the portion size than what I eat. What I eat, the quality is important, and I have switched over to a lot of green things. I do enjoy my salads. I love fruit now. There's a lot of things I didn't used to eat that were healthy that I eat now that I actually found I enjoy. And over time, you will too. It's just a matter of slowly changing your tastes. Losing weight and getting healthy is not something that's going to happen overnight. It's got to be a lifestyle change. That's why I tell my clients, again, you didn't gain weight overnight. You're not going to lose weight overnight. And yes, everybody's going to have days when, you're not going to be perfect all the time. You can't be good all the time. I'll come home with Twinkies every now and then. You bet. You cannot be good all the time. Hit me with some questions, you guys. Who wants to know anything about losing any weight, quitting smoking? Hit me up with, what about New Year's resolutions? You guys have any New Year's resolutions? We can talk about SMART goals. Seriously, I do want to talk about SMART goals with you guys while we're at it. Nobody has a question right now. Because everybody's going to be talking about, it's that time of year, New Year's resolution time. How are you going to get to your goals and stick with them? Now that's what you call lazy back here. Look at these guys. Zoe, you look way too comfortable. Anyhow, I want to talk about goals. And everybody's going to be talking about New Year's resolutions. And I hear all the same New Year's resolutions. One of the biggest, come on, let's all say it, I want to lose weight. Right? For the cigarette smokers, they want to quit smoking. The people that, like me, were heavy, they want to lose weight. People that get hit with health issues, they want to take control of those health issues. And again, if you are overweight, obese, or cigarette smoker, or like I was, all the above, you cannot get your health in order. You cannot get your health under control if you're still smoking. But if you are ready to get your health in order, and you have quit the cigarettes up here, and you quit the cigarettes up in here, and if those two sources are, I'm ready to get rid of these cigarettes, I'll help you free. Seriously. That's my give back. It has been this year, and it will be next year. And the book I published, one of the main reasons I put it out, I'll plug it. Pushing Double Nickels. It's on Amazon. You can, in fact, if you send me an email, I'll send you the ebook for free, because the first chapter is quitting smoking. The second chapter is losing weight and getting into shape. There's about 80 chapters all in all, everything from taking care of animals, because we are responsible for all the animals on this planet, especially the domestic ones that we created, like dogs and cats. We took a perfectly good gray wolf and turned it into a couch potato. These guys couldn't survive a night in the wild if their life depended on it, and it would. But
Every year we kill millions. This year alone, 10 million cats and dogs were euthanized in American shelters. That's a disgraceful number. That's a black eye on all of us. Anyhow, I digress. I was talking about goals and goal setting and New Year's resolutions. When you are ready to set your New Year's resolutions, that means you're setting some kind of goal. Make it a SMART goal. Let's make sure that if you're going to set a New Year's resolution, make it something that you can stick to. All right, so don't just say, I want to lose weight. Let's make it a SMART goal. A SMART goal is very, very easy. It's specific. So instead of saying you want to lose weight, pick a number. Let's say you're 200 pounds and you want to take off at least 20 pounds. I highly recommend anybody that needs to lose some weight, 10%. Start with 10%. Make that a target. Good way to go, because you take off 10% and you're pre-diabetic, you may pull yourself right off that pre-diabetic list. And for me, that would be awesome. If you could lose at least 10% of what you have now and get off the pre-diabetes list, good for you. And then you can move on and go even further from there. But specific. Let's be specific in setting our goals. Let's make them SMART. So they have to be specific. They have to be measurable. So if you're going to set a goal and you say, I want to lose 10%, you weigh 200 pounds, you know it's measurable. You've got 20 pounds that you want to lose. Attainable, right? SMART, specific, measurable, attainable, which means you've got to be able to do it. Now, if you say, I want to lose 20 pounds next month, no. To me, losing weight is something you shouldn't do more than a pound or two a week. And even then, I'm happy if my clients are losing 2 to 4 pounds in a month. Now, even if you're at a half pound or pound a week, going down instead of going up, that's fine. I don't care if you take the rest of your life to keep going down. The objective is to get you to a negative energy balance, away from a positive energy balance. Again, 3,500 calories. Every 3,500 calories you don't burn turns into a pound of fat. So every 3,500 calories that you burn takes a pound of fat off of your body. You have that choice. The decision is yours. Simply sitting down, taking a whole week to figure out what's going into your body and what kind of activity you're doing to counteract it, that is what I do when I first start with a client. I have a food diet chart, a diary, if you will, that they have to fill out for one full week. Everything they eat, everything they drink, every snack, every beverage. I don't care if you stopped at Starbucks for a latte. I want to know what you ate. I want to know how much you ate. Did it come in a package from Nabisco? Was it in a can? Was it a processed food that came off a shelf somewhere? Was it something that you ate in a restaurant? Was it something that you cooked yourself? So I want to know exactly what you ate, the amount you ate, what time you ate it, if you ate it with someone, and then most importantly, why did you eat it? Why are you eating? Not everybody eats because they're hungry. In fact, an awful lot of folks out there do not eat when they're hungry. They eat because they feel like eating. And it may have absolutely nothing to do with hunger. Quite often it doesn't. As a former psych major, I can go into that as well. But as your health coach, let's keep things on a positive basis right now, because we're working on SMART goals. We want to make sure if we're going to set a resolution, if we're going to make a goal to set in 2018, let's make sure it's going to be one that we can attain. Let's make sure it's going to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant. All right. So if you say you want to lose weight and you say you want to do 20 pounds, is that going to improve your life? Is that going to be relevant? Is that goal relevant for what you want to accomplish? And I'd say yes, it is. And then lastly, time bound. So a SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. That means you've got to give yourself a time to get this accomplished. So let's get back to the 200-pound person wants to lose 10%. At least I've said that's what you need to start at. As your personal trainer, health coach, 10% is at least going to help ease any diabetes issues you have. If you're type 2 pre-diabetic, that's certainly going to help. 10% is going to help a lot. It's going to take a lot of pressure off your endocrine system, your pancreas, your internal organs. It's hopefully also going to help remove some visceral fat, which is the most dangerous kind. That's the fat that accumulates around your organs. You've heard of fatty liver? That's a surefire way to... So, SMART goals. Specific, you want to know exactly what you want to accomplish. Measurable, so that you can say, all right, I actually accomplished what it was I wanted to do. I lost that 20 pounds. Attainable, is it something that you can attain? Is it something that you're going to be able to do? Relevant, is that goal relevant to what you're trying to accomplish? And time bound, are you going to be able to do it within that specific time? And you need to give yourself a time limit so that it's just not open-ended. So you say 20 pounds, I say a pound or two a week. If you're going all out and you want to lose 2 pounds a week, right? 20 pounds, so you're looking at 10 weeks. So that's 2.5 months. I say give yourself 90 days just to be safe on the outside. So we have a specific goal. We want to lose 20 pounds. It's measurable because we know it's 20 pounds we want to lose. If we lose 20 pounds, we're going to know. Is it attainable? Well, based on the time frame that we're giving us, 90 days to do it, yes, it is attainable. Is it relevant to what we're trying to get accomplished? You're trying to become more healthy. To become more healthy, if you're overweight or obese, obviously you need to lose weight. So yes, it's relevant. And of course, time bound. We've set a limit, 90 days, to get it done. And that can be true of almost anything that you want to set a goal for. It doesn't have to be your health. It could be something going on in your business, something going on in your life, something going on in your relationship. When you're setting goals, they should be short-term goals and they should be long-term goals. I personally set goals every single year. I set goals every single month. I have daily goals and I have long-term goals. I have goals that I want to hit by the time I hit 70. And that's based on physically what I want to accomplish. For me, improving the human body is something that never stops and can start at any age. I don't care if you're 20, 40, 60, 80, it doesn't matter. If you want to get better, you can get better. I can take an 80-year-old guy or gal and I can start working with them to improve their range of motion, their center of gravity. We will do light weights. So yeah, I can help those folks build muscle. If I can help somebody 80 years old build muscle, then you can certainly guarantee if you're 60 or 40 or 20, you can build muscle too. It's just a matter of motivating yourself and getting it done. Now, as a personal trainer, yeah, people hire me to motivate them, to help them do what I did. Not everybody has the background that I have as a former Marine and able to go back to my Marine Corps boot camp style training and just kick my own butt. So yeah, as a personal trainer and health coach, yeah, I kick my own butt on a daily basis. And sure, you can hire me as your personal trainer, health coach. I do Skype with my clients all the time at BradSF007. I think it's up on here. Email me at pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com. In fact, all of you guys, if you email me at pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com, I'll send you the ebook for free. There's a lot of good stuff in here besides the healthy stuff. The nice thing about writing a book is you get to put your opinions in on just about everything. So 2013, I was writing this. 2014, I published it. And I'm proud to say I've actually helped people lose weight and quit smoking just by publishing that book. On Amazon, we've got some folks that put nice little comments on there how that it helped motivate them to quit the cigarettes and lose the weight, just a few. But for me, if I could just help one quit smoking, it's worth it. If I can just help one person get their weight under control, it's well worth it. Diabetes type 2 is nothing to mess around with. Once you start getting neuropathy, and that's where you're getting the losing the feeling, the nerve damage in your fingers and toes, and you'll get it in retinopathy in your eyes. It's nothing to mess with. So believe me, if you are where I was, heavy and need to lose weight, don't feel hopeless. It doesn't really matter how heavy you are. My BMI was 38. So if I can take my BMI from 38 down to 21, 22, starting at age 45, then you can do it. I guarantee you can do it. You can do anything you want to do if you put in the time and the energy, if the motivation is there. Don't wait for something to hit you, a bad thing like getting diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, to start making positive changes. You can make positive changes anytime you want. You can start at any age. That's the nice thing about the human body. It's malleable. You know, the body itself is like a clay. You can mold it any way you want. You want to drive a minivan or do you want to drive a sports car? Basically, it's up to you. So you can make that choice. My goal as a personal trainer and health coach, sure, I'd love to spend, you take your $25-50 an hour for what you pay me. Sure, keeps the roof over my head, keeps the bills paid, keeps these guys fed, and lets me do a lot of the things I like to do. But I feel successful if I can turn you into your own personal trainer, if I can make you your own health coach. If by the time that I'm done working with you, month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever you feel you need, by the time I'm done working with you, you don't need me anymore, then I feel successful. You're hitting your SMART goals. The doctor loves your numbers, and we'll talk about numbers here in about 2 seconds because these are very important to me and they should be very important to you too. But if you're hitting your numbers that your doctor says, hey, everything is awesome, then I've done my job. Why continue paying me $25-50 an hour to yell at you and motivate you when I can make you your own personal trainer, make you your own health coach? Make sure that the lifestyle changes that you implement are ones that you're going to keep for the rest of your life. Because that's what it comes down to. You want to live a long life, you've got to put in the effort. You can't just sit around and hope for the best. Take it from somebody who used to sit around and hope for the best. So hit me with some questions, you guys. Why did you get into smoking? Well, all right, peer pressure. At 13 years old, I was stationed in Germany. Well, not me, my dad was stationed in Germany. We were in Garmisch, actually a little town just up the mountains from Garmisch called Oberammergau. It's where they have the Passion Play every year. Absolutely gorgeous. I mean, the Bavarian Alps, if you ever have the chance to visit, go. It's just beautiful. But lived there for 3.5 years, and on base, there's housing that was just off the base there, and they're like big apartment buildings, and all of the families lived in these apartment buildings. Well, one of the guys in the upstairs barracks from us was a gentleman named Robert, and I won't say his last name, but Robert B., and you know who you are, especially if you ever watch this video. All this is being saved on Tumblr, by the way, if you want to go back and see it later. But Robert used to steal cigarettes from his dad. They were Cools. And we were outside one time, and he pulls out this pack of cigarettes, and he lights one up, and I'm like, whoa, 13, I know. So that's when I had my first cigarette, and it was a Cool, and it wasn't very cool, but I was trying to be cool, so I smoked a Cool. And by the time I was 15 years old, I was a full-time pack-a-day smoker and stayed that way all the way to 46. Even in boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp, they wouldn't let us smoke the first 8 weeks. The first 2 months we were in, we couldn't smoke. I should have been smart enough to realize, hey, you've quit. But no, like a dumbass, they let us, have a cigarette after about the 8th week. In Marine Corps boot camp. I was at MCRD San Diego. And I can remember this just like it was yesterday. We stood outside and somebody held the lid to a trash can, upside down, and we stood in a circle and we all smoked our cigarette and all the ashes and butts went into that trash can lid. Nothing went on the ground. And that's a pet peeve of mine, and don't even start me on there. 3 trillion butts, 3 trillion cigarette butts are thrown on the ground every year. And each one poisons a gallon of water. Don't even start me on that one. But anyhow, that cigarette, all the ashes and all the butts went into the top of that trash can lid, right? And then they PT'd the heck out of us. Basically, that's Marine Corps speak for they exercised the daylights out of us because we smoked a cigarette. So, but the bottom line is, I failed the peer pressure. That's why I got into cigarettes. That's why I started smoking cigarettes. And of course, 31 years later, after being hit with type 2 diabetes and weighing 250 pounds with a BMI of 38, I had to do something. And so the cigarettes had to go. And they did. July 15, 2005 was my very last cigarette. And I can still remember that too, because I planned for it. And I guarantee you, by the time the day came for me to have my last cigarette, I was more than ready. So, and I know that if I can get rid of a 31-year cigarette habit on the first try, simply by planning it properly, and I've helped others do it since, I can help you too. So literally, if you are ready up here and you're ready in here to get rid of that cigarette habit, I will help you get that monkey off your back. And if you have anyone who you know is in that situation, you can put them in touch with me too. Because there's no way, again, no way you're going to get your health in order if you're a cigarette smoker. It's just not going to happen. It's just like saying, well, yeah, I'm going to eat healthy while you're drinking poison. It's just not going to work. Now, hit me with questions. I'm still waiting. You hit me with a challenging one. That was a very good question, by the way. Why did you get into smoking? That was a very good question. And yes, it is not something that I'm very proud of. But I am proud of the fact that I got rid of the darn things. Okay, you guys, how about New Year's resolutions? Hit me. Oops, wait a minute. Remind me tomorrow. They wanted me to restart my computer for updates. Not while I'm talking to you guys. That's not very nice. If you guys haven't fanned me yet, I would appreciate it. I am trying to build up a bit of an audience on here. This next year, I've got a few events coming up. Hopefully the new book will be coming out. And the book coming out this time is about these guys. I personally think that we are responsible for all the animals on this planet. We are currently the caretakers, if you will. We are the ones in charge. We aren't doing a very good job, at least some of us. But if we can step it up a little bit. This year, coming up, I am going to be doing some public speaking on health issues, obviously. That's who I am and what I do. I will be back in Costa Rica, hopefully speaking with another health club down there coming up in April. I'll be doing presentations this year on keeping a balanced life in an unbalanced world. Believe me, right now, we need as much balance as we can possibly get. And that should be physically, mentally, spiritually. The one thing that I like to push is healthier is good, but happier is also good. So I want people to be healthier, but I also want them to be happier. I have a chapter in Pushing Double Nickels, 80 chapters in here, but I have a chapter in here, one titled The Advantages of Being an Optimist. And I firmly believe that, thinking the glass is half full is always going to be better than thinking the glass is half empty. Keeping a positive attitude about things, even when all hell is breaking loose and everything's falling apart around you. If you can find a way to keep a little bit of positive attitude about it and be optimistic about how things are going to turn out, in the long run, that's going to pay off. Believe me, because even the folks that don't think they're being positive, don't think they're being optimistic, if they stick to it, and if they have the perseverance on something, even if they're feeling, oh my God, this is never going to happen, but if they stick to it, that is optimism. That is being positive. Even though you may be thinking, oh, this isn't working out as great as I am, but you stick to it. And that will pay off in the long run. The stick-to-itiveness, just in and of itself, is being positive, is being optimistic. So thinking the glass is half full is always going to be better for you than thinking the glass is half empty. Even at my heaviest, even when things were the absolute worst, 250 pounds, still smoking cigarettes, just hit with type 2 diabetes, wasn't long after a divorce. Literally my world was falling apart on me, at age 45, 46, just turned 46. Doctor says, you've got type 2 diabetes, you need to make some changes. Otherwise, pick some fingers and toes that you don't like because they're going to go bye-bye. And like I said, I like all my fingers and I liked all my toes. I bet you do too. So there's absolutely no reason, if you're still able to see me, if you're able to listen to me, if you're able to react to me in any manner, then you still have the ability to make some changes, positive changes. Even those folks that I was watching on that program the other night, My 600-Pound Life, they had to make changes. You never ever want to let yourself get to that point if you don't have to. But even if you get to that point, it's still not too late. Doesn't matter how old you are. Doesn't matter how heavy you get. You can make positive changes. You can improve your health. 10%. 10% is going to make a big difference. Somebody who is overweight, let's say your BMI is around 30. You're right on the verge of being between overweight and obese. Right on 10% is going to take you off of that. 10% is going to pull a lot of those 70 million pre-diabetics that I'm facing in America right now. 70 million Americans are pre-diabetic out of 330 million. 45 million Americans are still smoking cigarettes. 1,700 teenagers take up the habit every single day. If I had the ability to stop that in its tracks, take it from the 13-year-old who's trying to be cool and smoked a cool cigarette just to fit in with the peers, at age 15, a full-time cigarette smoker, it's not a good thing. So if I had the ability to stop kids from smoking, if I was able to say, this is what's going to happen, and I would get bronchitis. Every year I would get bronchitis. From late teens all the way up into my 40s before I quit. I would get bronchitis every year. I haven't had a single case of bronchitis since I got rid of the cigarettes. That tells me an awful lot. And my smell came back. Not that it went away completely, but it came back to the point where I smell things now that I know I didn't smell for a long time. My sense of smell, and therefore my sense of taste, has also improved. Now I have to be careful with that because I'm a foodie. I've been a gourmet cook for my whole life. I was very fortunate to be raised by an English mother who taught me how to cook because my parents both worked, so I would make the meals for the family before they'd come home. So I got exposed to cooking at a very early age. My favorite food is steak. And yeah, I love a good steak. That's right, red meat. But, and this is the key, if you're going to eat red meat, 1, watch your portion sizes. Try not to eat too much red meat. And 2, if you're going to eat red meat, try and find the grass-fed beef. I do the same thing with butter. I quit using margarine. I will not eat anything that's got palm oil or palm kernel oil in it. That's 84% saturated fat. Go look at anything in your cabinets, anything in a package, any margarine that you've got. Just go look. If you find palm oil, palm kernel oil, and there's a whole range of things they name this stuff by, throw it away. You want to avoid palm oil or palm kernel oil at all costs. More questions, you guys, hit me up. Hang on. If I were to buy into the whole resolution thing, it would be to grow into a more mature person mentally. Awesome. It doesn't really matter what your goals are, Secret Daddy Radio. Being a more mature person mentally is something that's extremely important. In fact, I've got some pretty good chapters in Pushing Double Nickels that cover that exact thing. And there are many different ways you can go about it. One of them is always trying to keep a positive attitude. If you're going to try and keep a more mature mental attitude, one of the things you can do is take more responsibility for yourself, for your neighborhood, for your family, for your friends. Try and do a few more things to help out around the community. That's certainly going to help you mature. How about taking on a little bit more responsibility with regards to helping people that need help? Volunteering is an awesome way to really help yourself mature. Reading. If you're not, and this really kills me, most people don't read another book once they get out of high school. Once they finish school, they just don't pick up books. And one of the most awesome ways that you can expand yourself mentally, that you can expand your vocabulary, and really get into, creative things. You can really expand your mind by reading. It doesn't matter what you read. As a teenager, I read thousands and thousands of books, everything from Louis L'Amour westerns to Mac Bolan Executioner to, The Exorcist. I read The Exorcist when I was in high school, my freshman year. William Peter Blatty. And yeah, I can tell you right now, and those of you who are readers will also say, the book is almost always better than the movie. Lord of the Rings, they did an awesome job on that movie, and I got to give them credit for that. Same with The Hobbit. But The Hobbit, to me, nothing is ever going to beat the book, because nothing is ever going to beat the imagination. So if you're trying to improve yourself mentally, if you want to be a little bit more mature mentally, one that's going to come with age. Naturally, as you age, you're going to mature anyway. But don't guarantee that just because you get older, you get wiser or more mature. I have many contemporaries, and I know many people even older than me that never really grew up, that really don't have the mental maturity that they should. And I won't point out any fingers at any public figures, but my guess is you guys can probably point at a few public figures right now that don't act very mature sometimes. And we can all have our moments. Don't get me wrong, we can all have our moments, and we all will. This grouchy old Marine, take it from me, with the issues that I deal with back pain and the other issues on a daily basis, I have my moments too, and I feel like a baby. But overall, you want to mature, it's just a matter of, one, know yourself, like yourself. You've got to be your own best friend. If you don't like yourself, nobody else is going to like you, and there's no way you can expect anyone else to like you if you don't like yourself. So first and foremost, like yourself. Find ways to make yourself better. Find ways to like yourself. They're there. Believe me, everybody on the inside has good. I have yet to meet a person who has zero good. There's an awful lot of folks out there who have rogue mind and have let their minds go in a bad direction. But every human being is born. Every human being comes out of the womb, and they have the capacity to be as good or as bad as they want. Yes, we are exposed to things in our lives, and people have situations happen that really affect them over time. But you, again, have the ability. The brain is malleable enough so that if you want to make those changes, you want to be a more mature person, you can make those changes yourself. And of course, as a health coach, I work with the entire body. I don't just work with the physical body. I work with nutrition. I work with mental. I work with spiritual. For me, the entire psyche is my realm. That's where I can help people improve everything from your physical to your spiritual to your mental. The bottom line is you can make improvements at any age. Any improvements you want, physical, mental, spiritual, it's up to you. You really do have that choice. That's nice. That's one of the cool things about being a human being and having conscious choice. We have the decision. We get to make that choice. Unlike these guys who are pretty much stuck relying on every human whim, which is why there are millions of dogs sitting in shelters right now, because they're abandoned and they've been left. They have no way of taking care of themselves. We can take care of ourselves, and we need to step it up a little bit more as far as taking care of these guys. Take it from me. If you ever decide you want to help out, save a life. Go down to your local kill shelter. Right now, there's dogs, cats, every kind of animal you can imagine sitting down there. And if somebody doesn't take them home and adopt them, in a kill shelter, they have less than a week normally before. And a good portion of the animals in there are puppies and kittens. A dog is still a puppy at 12 months old. He may look fully grown. You may think that's a full adult dog. But until that dog is at least 24 months old, at least 2 years old, they're still puppies. And we're killing puppies all the time. It breaks my heart. Anyhow, I digress. I go back because my heart is really into helping the animals, and the things on this planet don't have the conscious ability to help themselves. Us humans, we have the ability to help ourselves. That's why we make New Year's resolutions. Hit me up, you guys. Who's got a New Year's resolution? Hello, Wasif. How you doing today? I like the bow tie. Come on, you guys. Who's got a question for me? Hit me up. You want to talk about anything in particular? New Year's resolutions? If you guys haven't fanned me yet, I'd appreciate it. All right, well, let's talk about some numbers. I'm going to take about 15 more minutes to talk to you guys about some health numbers. And these are things that you need to get in order for 2018. First of all, weight, obviously. If you're overweight or obese, that needs to be got under control. More importantly than your weight is your BMI. Now, how tall you are and how much you weigh, that's going to determine your body mass index, your BMI. You can go Google it right now, just BMI index, and there's a chart that will come up. You put in your height, you put in your weight, and you go across. It'll tell you what your current BMI is. Right? Anything over 30 is obese. Anything over 25 is overweight. So go check your BMI. As a matter of fact, it should be one of the numbers that you discuss with your doctor when you do your annual physical, which leads me up to the numbers that I want to talk to you about. These are numbers that everybody should know. Everybody should find out. And when I take on a customer as a personal client, or take on a client as a personal trainer or health coach, which is what I do more of because my specialty these days is in helping people lose weight. That is the big one right now. Yeah, I can help you build muscle, get in shape, but first and foremost, you've got to get yourself at the proper BMI. Your body mass index needs to be where it needs to be. So that's your weight. I want to know the weight, obviously, your height and weight. That'll determine the BMI. I want to know what your blood pressure normally is. Do you have high blood pressure? Do you have low blood pressure? Do you take medications for your blood pressure? I want to know what your current cholesterol is, your highs, your lows, your triglycerides. I want to know, do you have issues with possible arteriosclerosis, the plaque that builds up on the insides of the artery walls? Remember, coronary arterial disease, CAD, is still the leading cause of death in America. In fact, it was on the news this morning, a young lady who was only 27 years old and had a heart attack. She had been diagnosed with heart disease, but that was because she was obese. 27 is no age to die from a obese-related heart attack. Anyhow, so cholesterol, I want to know, is your cholesterol, your triglycerides, are they in the proper shape? Your A1C, how are your blood sugars? Are you pre-diabetic or currently diabetic? Now, if you are like me, I'm a full-blown type 2 diabetic, obviously that has to be taken into account because you need to not only watch your weight, but you also need to watch your blood sugars, which makes watching your diet even more important. In the world of being healthy, it's a simple formula. 75% of your effort should be towards your nutrition, towards your diet. 25% of your effort should go towards activity, exercise, being non-sedentary. The CDC, Center for Disease Control, recommends that your average healthy person who's of the weight they need to be and has all the numbers in order the way their doctor says everything is fine, they need to get 30 minutes of exercise, moderate intensity exercise, 5 times a week. 150 minutes. That's just to maintain your current body weight. That's just an activity level just to stay healthy. If you need to lose weight, or if like me you're over 50, you need to double that. So that's 60 minutes of moderate intensity activity 5 times a week. 300 minutes is what we're looking at there. 5 hours. So 5 hours of activity, exercise activity to double your resting heart rate, which is the other number I was going to bring up. I want to know what your resting heart rate is. If you don't know what your resting heart rate is, if I become your personal trainer or health coach, we're going to find out what your resting heart rate is pretty darn quick. I use several trackers for this. I've got the Up 4, I've got the Smart Watch. Both of these track all of my miles, they track my steps, they both track my heart rate, my sleeping. It's amazing what the new technology can do. And these Bluetooth it directly to my computer, so that, and also on my smartphone, so that I can look and see exactly where I'm at each day. Have I burned the calories I wanted to burn? Have I gone the steps I wanted to go? I have set my personal goal daily at 15,000 steps. I want everyone else out there at least 10,000 steps. I don't care if you get a cheap little $5 pedometer. Get off your butt. Do 10,000 steps every single day. You know, over a week, 70,000 steps. If you're putting in 10,000 steps, then I will officially claim you as non-sedentary. Even though if you sit around the rest of the time, I would give you a hard time. And sitting here as long as I am right now with you is probably about the longest I'm going to sit in one place today. But for me, this is important. It's that time of year. Everybody's talking about their New Year's resolutions. Everybody's talking about, oh, I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get my health in order. And of course, by the end of January or into February, all of that's forgotten. Life gets in the way. You know, we have to take care of kids. We have to work. I mean, there's always a reason not to start getting healthy. There's always an excuse why we don't have time to exercise. There's always an excuse or a reason why we're not eating healthy, why we stop at fast food all the time instead of taking a little extra time to eat something a bit healthier. Now again, I don't care if you eat junk food once in a while, but all the time is not going to cut it. The amount of food you eat is important. That's going to be the key to whether or not you're losing weight or gaining weight. A positive energy balance every day versus a negative energy balance every day. My clients, if they want me to stay off their butt, they're going to have a negative energy balance at the end of the day, or at least a negative energy balance by the end of the week. All right? You can't be good every day. Some days you got to have pizza. Some days you got to have a cheeseburger. But don't eat the whole damn pizza. Don't eat 6 cheeseburgers. A little bit of portion control. I eat anything I want. I don't limit myself on foods, type of food. What I do limit myself on is portion size. And that is the key. I'm more interested in getting your energy balance to a negative energy balance at the end of the day. So at the end of the day, if you're burning more calories than you're consuming, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, you're not going to weigh more. You're going to weigh less. And that, for folks like me who needed to lose weight, and for any of you out there who need to lose weight, that's the key. That's the goal. The numbers. We want to hit our numbers. Our BMI. You want your BMI to be, my BMI is 21, 22. And for me, that's perfect range for my height and weight right now. My body fat, and that's somewhere between 6 and 8%. I'm not as concerned about your body fat as I am about your BMI. Your BMI to me is the most important thing. Men and women have different body masses, have different percentages for body fat. So do not even think that because your husband or your brother or your male counterpart has a very low body fat compared to yours. Ladies generally tend to have a higher body fat in general. It's just the way you're built. It's your endocrine system. It's the way your body is built. Do not fault yourself for that. If your BMI is where it's supposed to be, and your doctor says, I'm happy with your BMI, I like your weight, your blood pressure is good, your cholesterol is good, your triglycerides, all your numbers are good, your resting heart rate is awesome, your A1C, your blood sugars are where they need to be. If all of your numbers are good when you visit your doctor, hey, you won't get anything from me, but good job, keep it up. Otherwise, any of those numbers that are out of line, those are the things that you want to start looking at for making New Year's resolutions. Seriously, I am quite convinced that had I not started making changes at age 45 and took off 110 pounds and got rid of the cigarettes, I probably wouldn't be here right now talking to you about this. And I have a fairly strong way that I have built up this opinion. Let me see if I have any questions here before I hit you with this. And it's a scary one, but I'm going to finish up with it today. Well, hello, Hasim. Yeah, hello from Saudi. Nice to see our friends over there. Say Gucci gang. All right, I said Gucci gang. Go on, you guys. Hit me up with some questions. I know darn well there's some of you out there that need to lose weight. I guarantee not all of you out there have me as your personal trainer or are currently in awesome shape. But let's talk about some scary numbers before I head out of here today. Every single day in the United States, we lose about 150 to 160,000 people. Now, 150 to 160,000 people die every single day. That's just standard numbers. Right now, I think our birth rate is just a little bit lower than that. So, our attrition rate, 90,000 people die in their sleep every night. So that means 90,000 Americans will go to bed tonight and not wake up tomorrow. That's just the way it is. And yeah, a lot of them die from natural causes. Once you get up there, and it happens. But unfortunately, an awful lot of them are not dying from natural causes. Again, the leading cause of death in America is coronary artery disease, CAD, which means that if you get big and you're heavy and you're putting all that extra weight and work on your heart is working extra hard and has a tendency to give out, especially if you're eating a lot of food that has a lot of high cholesterol and you're putting plaque and things into your arteries that are making them close up. So you have arteriosclerosis. So 90,000 people die every night in their sleep, right? Now think about this. When you're sleeping, you go through several stages. You've got light sleep, you've got deep sleep, you've got REM sleep. Now this is the important one. And this one I've been tracking for a couple of years, and I've really, I think I've nailed this. I know what my heart rate is while I'm sleeping. I can go back and review my heart rate the next day. I can say, oh, well, I was having a dream, REM sleep, from 2:30 to 2:45. And at 2:40, my heart rate spiked up to 130 beats a minute. And it's happened. I've seen it happen. Imagine if I spent my entire day sitting around and I was still 250 pounds and I was still smoking and still working in computers and still not doing any exercise. In other words, my heart wasn't being exercised. Except that night in my sleep, I'm getting chased by a monster. And my heart is going to reflect exactly what's going on in my sleep. And will in yours too. And my heart spikes up to 130 beats a minute when it doesn't normally get maybe past up over 100 during the day on average. What do you think could possibly happen to somebody whose heart is not being exercised on a regular basis, but has a dream that spikes their heart rate up to 130 plus beats a minute? Think about it. Yes. People die in their sleep every single night from heart attacks of all ages. For the second year in a row, and this number really bothers me, you guys, the second year in a row, the average lifespan has shortened. Since we've been keeping track, the average lifespan has shortened. We're on top of medical technology. We're on the leading edge of DNA research. We know about the telomeres on the ends of our cells. We understand the causes of aging. We haven't reversed it yet, but we're getting darn close. But in the same vein, because we have an obesity crisis in this country and around the globe, we are shortening our lifespans. So if you're one of those folks who, like me, and I was obese, my BMI again was 38. I'll show you this one more time just so you guys understand. This is where I was. That was me. 252 pounds. That was me. 110 pounds ago. 30-year smoker. And again, that was me at 205 pounds, almost 50 pounds off of that. And that was 2010. Still in computers, but at least I was 5 years a non-smoker at that point. So the bottom line is, You got to make the changes. You got to lose the weight. You can do it. You know, anybody can do it. I don't care how old you are. The younger, the better. I wished I'd have made some changes at 35 or 25. I wished I hadn't waited till I got hit with type 2 diabetes at 45 to start making some changes. But if I could do it, and at age 56 become a certified personal trainer and a certified health coach and start helping other people lose weight and get in shape, if I can do it, the original freaking couch potato, you can do it too. Take it from me. Just a little bit of planning, a little bit of effort. You can become your own personal trainer. You can become your own health coach. You want to get better? I don't care if you want to get better physically, mentally, spiritually. You want to be healthier. You want to be happier. You want to be more optimistic. The choice is really yours. So it's New Year's. You know, Happy New Year's to all of you guys. I'm looking forward to a really awesome 2018. I have some really good goals for 2018. One of them is to help you guys as much as I possibly can. And 2018, again, I'm helping anybody who's ready to quit cigarettes. You're ready to quit smoking? I will help you do it for free. Seriously. If you're ready, I mean here and here, if you're ready to get rid of those cigarettes, I will help you create a 30, 60, 90-day plan. I'll Skype with you on this. We'll email, text, whatever it takes, so that by the end of that 90 days, you will have that cigarette smoking monkey off your back. Free. That's my community give back. If you want me to work with you on losing weight, getting in shape, any of the things that I do as a personal trainer health coach, I will also do that. You know, my fees normally are about $25 an hour. If we're doing anything extremely specific, I do group training as well for $50 an hour. So I'll take on multiple clients or groups at work. I will go into an office and I'll work them at lunch if need be. So if you have any needs that I can help with, reach out to me on any of my social media. If you haven't, go hit my Facebook page for Pushing Double Nickels. We put a lot of good content on there. Again, anybody that wants the ebook for Pushing Double Nickels, just send me an email and I'll send you the ebook for free. Just need a digital reader, that's all. If you go on Amazon right now, you can read the first 30, 40 pages on the Kindle reader on there for free. And that's got the table of contents. There's an awful lot that I cover in the table of contents. So anyhow, I want to wish everybody a happy new year. I want to wish everybody a healthy new year. And I will be back online tomorrow. Excuse me, not tomorrow. I am taking New Year's off. I will be back online on the 1st, Monday. I think I'm going to be back online about 11 a.m. Pacific to answer any questions. Also probably do some little bit of workouts as far as stretching for anybody that wants to join me along in that as well. And I really wish you guys the absolute best. Remember, no drinking and driving, please. Absolutely no sense in that. Any more questions before I'm heading out, you guys? Let's see. Will and determination make everything. Absolutely. Determination, will, stick-to-itiveness, whatever you want to call it. Hey, you guys, if you haven't fanned me yet, please go ahead and do so. I also appreciate a few thumbs up. We all want appreciation. It's true. And the best thing that you can do for your friends and family is to support them. If they're social media people, get on there. Go like some of the things on their Facebook page. You know, go put something on their Instagram to warm them up and make them feel good. What you really want to do this year, and I think we all need to work on this, is let's try being a little nicer to each other. I mean, all the way around. You know, be nicer to these guys naturally, you know, because they need us. But in general, let's try and be nice to each other this next year, 2018. I think we've had enough of the meanness for 2017. I think we really need a little bit more support for each other. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch. If there's any questions that I can help with once I'm offline, feel free to email me. pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com. Again, pushingdoublenickels@yahoo.com. If you want my book, I'll send you the ebook for free. If you want to quit smoking, I will help you quit smoking for free. And if you want me to help you lose weight and get in shape, I won't do that for free, but I'll do it for as short a time as possible so that I can make you your own personal trainer and make you your own health coach so that you can go do what you need to do to be healthier and be happier and live longer. Remember, 40 can be the new 30. 50 can be the new 35. 60 can be the new 40 if you do it right. You want to live to 100, and all you millennials watching, I expect every one of you guys to live to 100 and better without drooling on yourselves and without wearing diapers. You have that ability. We are in that time frame now where we can literally take control of our health. We have the ability to do it. We know what it takes. If I can get trained and get it done in my 50s, I guarantee you, 20s, 30s, 40s, you guys, easy. Even people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, they can make improvements. It doesn't matter how old you are. It's just a matter of whether or not you want to do it. If you have the motivation, you've got the will and the power, the willpower to get it done, fine. If not, I'll give you the willpower until you have your own. I'll charge you for it. Anyhow, you guys have yourself a happy new year. Do not drink and drive. Take good care of your animals. Remember, besides 4th of July, New Year's Eve is the worst night for pets. Gunshots, fireworks, they panic. The shelters fill up. The second most active night for shelters, or is active week for shelters, is the week after New Year's. The most active week for shelters for animals is 4th of July. They take in more animals, cats, dogs, and everything else during the 4th of July holiday than any other time of the year. So the New Year's, take care of your animals, put them somewhere safe. They have no idea why we're celebrating. The animals, dogs do not understand fireworks. All they know is the percussive sound hurts their ears and hurts them. Cilio, new medication I got from my vet, goes on the inside of their cheek, makes it absolutely not care. For the first time ever, where is she? This one right here, Zoe. For the first time in 11 years with me, she did not panic over the fireworks on 4th because of that medication. So do what you got to do to take care of your pets tomorrow night as well. Take care of yourself first, because you can't help anybody else until you get yourself in order. But after that, let's be nicer to each other. Let's take better care of the animals. Let's take better care of the planet. In the long run, we'll all be happier. And by 2020, we'll all be seeing more clearly. Get it? 2020? I like it. I thought it was pretty damn funny myself. All right, you guys, I'm getting ready to head out and finish my day. Anybody have any questions before I go? Hit me up, you guys. Who's got a question? Hit me, hit me. Well, anyhow, I want to wish everybody again a Happy New Year. I'll be back on the 1st. Hopefully, between now and then, some of you will make some smart New Year's resolutions. Remember, SMART goals again, and I'll repeat them one more time. Specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART goals. If you're going to make New Year's resolutions, if you're going to make goals, make them SMART goals. Make them ones that you can actually do, ones that you're going to stick to. What's the point in making New Year's resolutions if you're not going to resolve to keep them? Anyhow, I appreciate you guys spending the time with me today. If anybody has any questions, you can email me, any of my social links. Look forward to seeing you again on Monday. In other words, I'll see you next year. Take care, you guys. Happy New Year.